You ready?
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's your girl G9. I am here with episode 155 with my guy here from Mind, Peace, and Woke. Say your name, say your Instagram for us.
Hey, this is Justin, Mind, Peace, Woke. You feel me? That's my Instagram, Mind, Peace, Woke, all one word. You feel me?
Mind, Peace, Woke. I want to get a little bit into knowing you for a second. How did you get into, if you don't know, he has his own podcast. How did you get into being a podcaster, and how did it get from, you said a few months ago you got into being a podcaster. So how did that get started with you?
I would say it was kind of a natural transition, right? I mean, because I got a clothing brand, Mind, Peace, Woke, control your mind, control your life. It was just kind of my thing. You get what I'm saying? I wanted to pretty much take that a little bit further, the message, the Mind, Peace, Woke message. So I decided to do a podcast.
And what does Mind, Peace, Woke mean?
So Mind, Peace, Woke. So if we're able to control our mind and all those thoughts, it will take us to a level of peace. And that's my definition for woke. Mind, Peace, Woke.
Oh, well, check him out. Check him in. You know, a lot of people want to have that sense of peace one day. You know what I'm saying? And I want to ask you, since this has been your direction in life, is right now, as of right now, is to get the word out about Mind, Peace, and Woke. What does peace mean to you? How did you get there? Are you at peace in your life right now?
Yeah, I mean, I would say peace is like a full life thing. So it's always kind of probably up and down for most people, I would say. But for my understanding of peace is from within, right? So only I can disturb my own peace.
Yes.
Nothing on the outside of me can disturb my peace. So once I figured that out, and once that knowing was clear for me, then my peace was complete.
Mellow. That's good. It took me a long time to get peace, and I think I had to understand, you know, because people have their own sense of what peace means to them, right? You know what I'm saying? And I felt like our goal in life is to be at peace when we exceed or we get to where we need to get to. So do you think that that's what happens when you get to a level of I'm at where I'm where I want to be at, and this is where peace should be happening? But I just always feel like when you get there, you gotta work hard at keeping it. So how do you feel about like telling your mind to constantly work at that, like get into peace, being happy, being woke about the things that's in front of you? Like, how do you get there?
Hey, so I would first say you said peace comes from getting somewhere. Like once you get somewhere, then you'll get that peace.
That's what I took from it until I learned like what it was about. But I didn't know that like peace comes from what you were saying more so. Like I always thought you had to get to that goal, like it was a goal to get to, and it wasn't like something within, and it's something more so within.
Exactly. I think the way that you used to think about that is what most people think peace is. Like once I get that car, then, or once I get that new job, or once I get that husband, then I'll eventually be at peace. But that's not where it comes from. Right, and everybody that that is married or got that new house or got that new car, they come on now. Like we really look into our neighbors' lives, then we know what's going on. It's not peaceful, right? So obviously, those things that we're looking up to, something's wrong there. Right.
I remember we had because we had to re-record this episode, and something you said on the last episode about when you started your podcast, you was afraid to start your podcast. I want to touch a little bit on that, on why were you afraid? You said more so your family and the closer people, it was the people you were scared to project what you were trying to talk about. So I want to know, how did you get to not caring about the 5 or 10 people you said that we care about until now the whole world can listen to you?
Well, that was with my Instagram. I was afraid to start the Mind, Peace, Woke Instagram page like a few years ago, 4 or 5 years ago when I first started, because, well, not afraid to start the page, but I was afraid to express the things that I was expressing on the Mind, Peace, Woke Instagram page on my main Instagram page. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I decided to start the Mind, Peace, Woke Instagram page. But like I was saying, I didn't I didn't want to express those different things, those different thoughts on my main page because I didn't quite know what those thoughts was that I was feeling. But I didn't want that to not let me express them. You get what I'm saying? I didn't want the fear of opinions of, like I was saying, 4 or 5 people to stop me from moving forward. So I just took another path.
And then seeing them, but putting your face on the Mind Peace Woke, don't that make sense more so now that you put your face on that Mind Peace Woke page?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Because how can you, project to what you're talking about without people seeing what it really looks like,
Exactly. So I think doing that was a good idea. You get what I'm saying? I had to put my face on there. I had to become more of what I wanted to project.
Yeah.
Right?
How do you feel about that now? Do you feel like that was the best decision you made?
Yeah, definitely.
And you got to speak out to a lot more people than you thought you would?
Yeah, got to express myself to thousands and thousands of people. So that's what the goal is. That's what the goal was. And now we just want to keep going. Just want to see what the best version of myself could look like.
But what is the ultimate goal with Mind Peace Woke?
If I can be all the way real,
I mean, you better be on G vibes.
Right. So I wanted to eliminate the goals kind of out of my life. Right? I think us setting goals is mainly the reason why we be stressed out all the time. Right? Instead of just, I mean, because when we set a goal, it's like, oh, I'm going to become some type of something in the future, meaning I'm not that something now. But once we realize everything that we want, everything that's something that we want to become, we are already it today. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? There's no reason for a goal. All we have to do is live and stop thinking about the future, stop thinking about the past, and just live in what's happening right now. You get what I'm saying?
I think we talked about that on my fear episode with Reese. Is that the biggest issue I think I've had was I don't like to set goals, long-term goals, because I feel like then I'll be pressured to keep trying to chase that goal instead of what's in front of me. I can work with what I can have and it can grow into something. And I think that sometimes we get to that place where we like, oh, we haven't got there yet. How can we get there? Like, and not even living in the moment that we are in. So I do think it's good to set goals, but I do think it's good to still live in the moment, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
So besides that, I do want to say that you told me that you were from
Arkansas.
Arkansas. Mm-hmm. You know what? And I didn't know. I thought you said Mississippi. So Arkansas?
Yeah, Arkansas.
Oh, my boss wants to move back to Arkansas. He said he loves the country. It's nothing like out here. City is different. So what's the difference from Arkansas and here? I know he knows. I bet you it's a big difference.
I mean, yeah, it's hard to really explain, especially where I stayed in Arkansas. I stayed in the country, right? So I grew up around my family, right, about on acres and acres and acres of land. So it's completely different. It's land. We got all 4 seasons. I mean, it's
all 4 seasons.
It's completely different.
Yeah, we don't have all 4 seasons.
Exactly. Exactly.
It was just raining when he was here a couple of days ago, and now it's not raining.
Exactly.
It's weird, huh? You know what? Another thing you talked about is your childhood and how as you got older and you had different difficult situations with people and things, and this is what got you to Mind Peace Woke. Like you said that you, like in the 7th grade, when people would speak about you or talk about you, or you was, I guess, having problems with kids in school, this is what got you to even create a Mind Peace Woke. Was that something you were telling me? I believe you said.
I mean, when I came out here in 7th grade, you get what I'm saying? So I had a country accent, right? So people definitely talked about me, but I definitely didn't get to Mind Peace Woke all the way back then. Right? I mean,
what was it like then? Like, cause living in LA, being from the city, I know it had to be hard in those schools with those kids.
Yeah. Cause
we different out here compared to probably Arkansas.
Yeah, but I'm really from the country, so I wasn't. I honestly didn't have no real problems. You get what I'm saying? Because you have problems. I don't know. I just knew how to do everything already. I knew how to play basketball. I knew how to play football. I knew how to do the things that make boys cool. Especially back then, I was strong. I was
Right.
fast. You get what I'm saying? Those are the things that
Oh,
used
so
to
you
make.
got the girls with that.
Yeah. Right. So those are the things at the end of the day that make boys cool, especially
Yeah.
back then. So I was good. Right. I mean, I was decent. It was of course people that probably hated on me. You feel me? Dudes that probably hated on me. That was from out here, but everybody get hated on.
Everybody do.
Right.
So what can you tell your old self versus now about how you live your life now? You can say anything to your old self.
I would say live, like express yourself more. Be you. Don't be scared to be you, right? Because people gonna always judge you. But if you can just express yourself fully and just fully be who you're gonna be, then they gonna follow. They're gonna eventually catch on.
Right.
Right?
So it's like being your true self at all times.
Yeah, be your true self. Always be a leader, right? Just be a leader, because everybody else, once they see the confidence enough in you to lead, they're gonna follow.
Isn't
right?
that crazy?
That's crazy.
Because when we're kids, we don't even know nothing about being a leader and a follower, and we're just doing things like, oh, I'm going to hang out with my friends, and don't realize what we're doing with our friends is probably not the thing, or who is leading us here. Like, you have a certain friend that's always the leader.
Exactly.
Like, they tell you, like, oh, we're not going to do this, we're going to do this. And,
Exactly.
And I know girls is a little different. So, it was probably a little more catty. So did you ever have that growing up that you felt like you were following? You had to switch that up about yourself because you seem so strong-minded.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely had times kind of where I followed, but I think, I didn't really follow too much of the wrong crowd. That was a little bit later on. Most of my bad decisions was just simply made because of me. Seriously though, like most of
tell the truth to us, huh?
Nah, exactly though. Most of my friends I was the bad kid. You get what I'm saying? Like I was the one that was trying to influence them probably. You get what I'm saying? I was probably the baddest kid out of my friends. Right? And then later on in life, 18, 19, 20, I probably start kicking it with people that was probably like, oh, okay, I probably don't want to kick it with them no more. That was probably later on in my life. You feel me? But in school, I was probably.
So you was woke about you were woke about 19.
Yeah,
18, 19.
yeah, but not even woke though. I mean, because at the end of the day, I went to prison at like 22, 23.
Oh, okay.
Right, so it that woke me up a little bit.
How was that experience? Not to get into detail too much, but how was that experience like being a young man in prison? How was that for you?
I mean, I think honestly, it was hell.
Okay.
Right? But also, if I can be all the way real, it was something natural about it. Right? Meaning, my brother had been in prison. Right? Once I went in there, it was like I understood what I was around. I understood the people. I understood what was going on. But that right there made it a little bit easier for me to understand that I didn't want to be there.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
So it was something that, you know how we get familiar with. You know? So it was like a familiar place, even though you weren't never there. It just felt familiar with the certain people that were in there.
Yeah, no, the environment wasn't familiar. Of course, I got familiar with it eventually, but the energy, I already knew what type of people was there. I knew the energy of those type of people, right? Because of the life I had, I mean, the life that I had led before I got there.
Okay. I met him, I'm going to just get into this. I met him at the Cocoa Awards. Shout out to the Cocoa Awards. Shout out to everybody at the Cocoa Awards. And he got an award for outstanding what?
My outstanding brand.
Outstanding brand. And how did that feel about getting recognized after all these years? You experienced the things you experienced and going to prison and all these things that has happened to you to get an award from your peers. How did that feel to you?
To be all the way real, it felt like an accomplishment,
That's good.
right? An accomplishment. But like you said, that's good. I try not to get too high.
But why not be high? Is that a man
Because-
thing where y'all don't want to get excited about, oh, I'm getting an award, I'm this, I'm
Yeah.
that? Is it that a man thing, or is that?
I don't think it is. I think it's like I think a lot of even men try to chase highs.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you're chasing a high, then it's opposite, right? The lows.
Oh, okay.
Right, so that means if the next Coco Awards I don't get an award, it's gonna be like, man, come on, bro, like why didn't you recognize? Come on now, I was here, right? So if you go too high with the first award, then the next awards you're gonna be expecting something else. But if you just be at peace with the award, then the next awards you're not worried about it. You get what I'm saying? Like it's not a super high or a low.
So why not worried about the award? You already got that award, so you already know you accomplished something.
Yeah.
So why not give your flowers to the next person that just as deserving as you?
What you mean?
Like, I feel like once I won the award already, why not give it to the next person next year? Why even think about if why I didn't get this one next
Oh,
year?
okay. It's because you want to be the best year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4. Right? So if you recognize me as the best on year 1 and you get like a super high from it, then year 2, what you want to do? You want to be the best. Right? You want to you don't want to just get 1 ring in basketball. You want to get 1, 2, right? You don't want 1 Grammy.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Come on now.
I see what you're saying with that one, because I'm like, I always try to be happy with whatever I get, but I want you to know it's okay to be happy about that one, and it's okay you don't get the second one, but you might get the third one. You might come back around again, but even better.
Exactly though. But I think peace is better than happiness.
Explain that to me.
I want to know. Peace is in the middle of being happy and being sad, right? There's no happiness, there's no sadness. I'm just at peace. There's no highs and lows in your life. Oh. Life is just lifing, and you're going to continue to life with life. There's no highs from life. There's no lows from life. Okay. You get what I'm saying? Because if you're looking at happiness like, oh man, that was happy, then you just waiting for that day of happiness to come again instead of recognizing the happiness and the peace that's right in front of you. Right?
Okay. I see that. I didn't see it till now, but I get what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying?
I thought it all was intertwined, but I get why you would rather have that.
Yeah.
It's less stress with that.
Yeah, it's no stress.
It's no stress with that. Yeah, because with happiness, it's like the stress comes from you gotta stay there.
Come on.
And from sad, it's like the stress of you don't want to feel like that no more. You know what I'm saying? And then when you're in the middle, you're cool. You chill. Yeah. This is where I like to be around. I like this environment. I like this peace feeling.
Exactly.
Okay, so you know what, guys? We're going to get straight into this topic right now. I brought him on because his brand, what he represents, and his mind, if anything. So I wanted to talk about self-esteem. Self-esteem is one of those things I believe like our culture has an issue with self. So I wanted to talk to you about that, and I want to talk to you about the poll we did. So with you, I want to start with, how do you feel about self-esteem? What does it mean to you? What is self-esteem to you? Because everybody has their own definition,
Exactly. I mean, for me, self-esteem is very simple. It's simply how do you feel about yourself, right? The problem with most people try to get their self-esteem from being better than their neighbors, from being better than somebody else. You get what I'm saying? So if the way to build my self-esteem up is I gotta have more money than, my sister or my brother or, one of my friends or something like that. Somebody that's close to you or somebody that you can see on TV. That's usually what helps build people's self-esteem up.
It's really other people.
Yeah.
And it's not self.
Exactly.
That's crazy. Don't you think that's crazy?
Yeah, I mean, it is almost insanity.
You know what's so crazy is when I was younger, I felt like, I'm going to say what I said last time. I always felt like my self-esteem came when I was older. When I got older and I learned how to take care of myself and love myself and do self things. You know what I'm saying? When I was growing up, I didn't have that a parent to teach me about self-love and the importance of putting yourself first, and what does it mean when this person, like, and it's not built on if a guy tells you you're cute. It's not built on if a girl doesn't like you because your hair is nappy. You get what I'm saying? The little things that we grew up thinking that self-esteem was is other people liking us, and not us really liking ourselves.
Exactly.
Just other people telling you who you are, what you look like, what you need to do to look better or be better. And I feel like that's what a lot of our culture go through is a lot of people feel like they have to show other people that they are happy, other people that they're this, that they're that, and they don't understand what self-esteem means.
Exactly. Hey, but you added our culture.
I did.
This is a worldly thing.
It is a worldly thing.
Right? This is
Well, you know why I always say our culture? Because I only be with our culture. But it is a worldly thing. That's what everybody can say. You can say from every culture will think. You know, I don't know what other cultures do. I study mine, so that's why I always say our culture. But it can be it's everybody.
Exactly.
It's everybody. Everybody feels the same, like what I said. But I did do a poll, and I asked the people on the poll, how do they feel about self-esteem? Is it a self? Does it start with self when you start out doing things for yourself, or does it start with your childhood? So everyone said childhood, and I want to know from you. Majority said childhood. I want to know from you. What do you feel about it? Does it start when in your childhood in the home with your parents, because you know they're your first teachers?
Absolutely. I mean, I would honestly say everything starts from childhood.
Right.
Thing is, all our problems are from pretty much 0 to 18, and we spend from 19 to death trying to figure out those problems and trying to solve those problems and trying to get over those problems.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that self-esteem definitely starts with us for sure.
Yeah.
It starts from childhood. You feel me?
Do you feel like have you ever experienced something that you realized, like when you were younger, like, this don't got nothing to do with people. This got something to do with me. This is what I feel. Like, and it's anything that somebody tells me doesn't even matter because it's a self thing. Have you ever experienced something when you were younger that you look back like, dang, I was depending on everybody to make me feel good about this, and this is something to do with me?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if I was that woke then, but my mom did used to always tell me sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you.
Did you feel that way though?
Yeah, I did. It kind of stuck with me. It seriously kind of stuck with me. I always kind of felt like as long as nobody put their hands on me, then we good. Words are just words. So I think that's probably why the transition for me to understand literally that words are just words, and self-esteem comes from within, because I kind of always knew that sticks and stones hurt your bones, but words would never hurt you. You get what I'm saying? That stuck with me.
But sometimes I feel like some people don't even when your parents instill all these things in you, still, some parents, I'm going to tell you something my mama said. All my kids is different. You caught on faster than, not saying my sisters is, but you caught on a little faster than your other sisters. That you just knew what that meant, you know? And it's okay that they didn't understand that in the beginning. But eventually they remembered what I told them. Well, my grandma used to always tell us stuff.
Exactly.
So I think it comes down to if you truly understand it too. I don't think I understand what self-esteem was growing up until I got older.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel the same way. Didn't quite understand that it started with self, right? I don't think majority of us
get that, huh?
I mean, but let's be all the way real though. I mean, I think the knowledge of 2023 though is so expansive. Like it's a lot. It's easier for us to get knowledge than it was for our parents to get knowledge. It's easier for us to know these type of things than it was for our parents. And it's easier for us to heal because we know more of healing than our parents did.
True.
You get what I'm saying? So for us not to be taught what self-esteem is, it's like they didn't know what self-esteem was, right? So how they gonna teach what they don't know?
Right.
The problem is they still don't know. a lot of them still don't know.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And you know, when you old, you're a little bit older. It's kind of hard to, you know,
break
change.
Yeah, you know what? That's true because my mom always like, you going to therapy? That's right. That's not for us. Like, you know how we fight the world battles? I'm like, see, that's the problem. We're fighting battles for what? What battles are you talking about? Paying bills? That's something we already supposed to do, right? You know, how is that a battle? It's a battle because you don't have no money for it, right? It's not a battle because it's something that you. This is what everyone's doing.
Yeah.
How is that a battle?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm not discrediting my mom or anything. But it's just certain things that, like you said, they didn't have the certain tools that we got now. Like we know that we get in seeing that back then therapy wasn't put on the table for us. And therapy was something that was looked down upon. Now you got so many people speaking about therapy and learning how to love yourself and all these things. They didn't have that growing up. Social media was definitely not nothing they would have looked at probably twice. You know what I'm saying? Like just imagine the 80s.
Exactly.
It was crack epidemic and so much other stuff. So they experienced way more than us. Way more stuff was piled up on them. And just look at us now, like all the weight is getting off our shoulders because we're learning how to deal with these things. And they never had to learn how to deal with them when they didn't understand them. And like you said, they probably still don't.
Exactly. Hey, so let me ask, how has therapy, well, you the host, you feel
me?
But
you can always ask me a question.
You know, I mean, how has therapy been for you?
So I went to therapy based on me always being angry. Like people don't know I always get mad at everything. But it was starting to stress me out. Like, you know, it wasn't like, you know how you get mad quick and you just be mad? I was trying to learn how to let go of all my anger and I didn't know how. So she basically gave me tools on how to deal with things, how to let stuff go. And then she went back as far as when I was like 8 when I was molested and when I first said no to somebody and how that power felt to me. And then she just broke down power and honesty and truth and all these things that I probably felt that I couldn't trust people. I didn't understand people because people didn't understand me or they didn't let me have a voice at my age. And now I'm just, like that. And so, I don't know, she kind of broke my mind into 2 ways of saying like, you know where it came from. How can you grow from that? What did you learn from that situation? Now where you at? Let's break down to get you to, you know how the saying is, like when somebody said, you broke my self-esteem, you broke me as a person. Like somebody breaking you down, and you got to build yourself back up. I think that's what therapy has done for me. It like kind of broke me down. I was crying in the beginning, sad, mad. I'm mad at everybody. My mama didn't do this, and my daddy this way, and then my grandma left me. You know what I'm saying? I think she kind of broke all those things down that I'd experienced and helped me put them back together one by one, in a sense, without saying so much. She just helped me to understand that letting go is a part of my journey to get to the peace and the happiness and whatever I'm looking for. I'm going to find it. It's going to be something that's going to come to me naturally. It's not nothing I'm chasing for. I feel like I was chasing a lot of stuff all my life and not knowing what I'm chasing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
So what do you feel about that?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't want to chase nothing no more. I just want it to be some natural feeling I get one day that I don't care about nothing but what I'm doing. I'm not concerned about everybody and what they're doing. Because I'm that person. Always concerned about who, this person, that person, that. How can I help that person? Like, she like, self. You help you. How you gonna help others? Self. So how do you feel about that? Did you ever thought about going to therapy? Or did you ever go?
No. Right. I personally think I never been in therapy though.
Never? You sound like you've been there.
Right. But I think I'm not 100% sure because, like I said, I never been. But I do think therapists seem to keep people in their hell.
Think so?
Yeah. I mean, because you, you can go over the things that happen, you can talk about it, but it don't take that much talking about your hell.
Yeah.
It's time to get past it,
Mm-hmm.
right? We already know where it came from. It came from your childhood. We already know this. It came from your childhood. So what you need to do is confront your childhood, meaning go confront your mama, go confront your daddy,
Yeah.
go have a conversation with them about how you.
What if they're not ready for it?
I didn't ask them to be ready for it. I'm ready for it. So like I said, go confront them and forget about their response. Because you feel like they're not ready for it, then you probably scared of the response.
You know, I have to say, I already got the response without asking for it.
What do you mean?
You know how you confront people, or you tell them why you're in therapy, or what you experienced, or something, and a lot of your parents don't even know what you experienced.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I blamed a lot of stuff on them, and they didn't even know half the stuff that was going on because I never told them.
Yep.
So why am I mad at you?
Mm-hmm.
My therapist told me I'm graduating. I said, from what? I didn't know it was a graduation session. She like, you don't need me no more.
Mm-hmm.
We already broke it down. You know what to do now. Just do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I can feel you when you say something about keep shooting your hell, because now I feel like, okay, I need a new therapist. My boyfriend said, for what? I said, because she letting me go. He's like, well, she supposed to be with you forever? I'm like, yeah. He like, so you're being, it's like you're codependent on her now.
Mm-hmm.
And no, she's not there for that.
Codependent. You get what I'm saying? We so scared of the dark. Do you understand what that means? We so scared to close our eyes and go within. We so scared to sit alone with the things that happen, right? Like we want to sit across from somebody and get them off our chest, which is cool sometimes, but eventually we got to sit across from ourself. We got to sit across from our 8-year-old self and deal with the emotions and how they felt then. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to close your eyes and sit across from your 13-year-old self or whenever your drama happened and deal with it. You get what I'm saying? I think that's the only way to truly get past it. We got to go within and deal with the things that happen.
And I think that will help us to build our self-esteem.
Absolutely.
You know what? That's a really breakthrough I just had with you.
Yeah.
Because that would help me to deal with my self-esteem, is to look at my old self and like, damn, okay, that happened. Okay. What else? Like, what? You know what, though? Self-esteem is kind of keep you there, too. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with self, it'll kind of keep you at 8, at 9. Because you don't know how to break through. So I think sometimes you need a mediator to kind of tell you how to break through. Just like you and me talking and someone listen to us, it may help somebody to be like, okay, that's the way I was feeling that one time, but this is how they did it. Let me try to do it their way, and maybe it'll help me out. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So I think that's why people look at your podcast too.
Exactly, though. I think, we all here for each other at the end of the day. We're all trying to help. So I'm definitely not saying that all there, you get what I'm saying, is that. But I'm saying do some work from within, too. Do some work, sit alone too, right? It's cool to have a conversation with people, but sometimes you need to have a conversation with yourself, or sometimes you need to stop having conversations with yourself. Maybe your thoughts is running you crazy. Right? Sometimes you need to sit down and let the voice chill. Right?
Instead of going like this?
Yeah. Just let it chill. Like just let them thoughts just have fun, right? Without you chasing every one of them, without you running them down, without you thinking that all of them are yours.
Yeah.
Right? Because all your thoughts are all lies all the time. So
you think so?
Yeah.
For real?
Absolutely.
I never thought of it like that. Why do you think they lies?
Tell me a truth one. Right? Tell me one of your thoughts that's true. I'm not talking about a practical thought. We all have practical thoughts, you get what I'm saying, as far as I got to be at work at 5, so I want to set my alarm for 4, make sure I make it there on time, da-da-da. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about ah man, it's Friday, man. My boss always do this on Friday, da da da. That means you predicting your day when you haven't even started your day. You know, those type of thoughts that we all have. Ah man, I know my coworker gonna get on my nerves today because
I
she
have
always
that every
tripping.
day though, so I need to get rid of that one, huh?
Yeah, they all lies.
I'm assuming too much.
Assuming. Assuming.
Okay.
All right?
But ain't that a part of women? No, I ain't gonna do y'all like that. Don't we all kind of think that way? Oh, we all assume all day, every day.
Yeah.
Like I'm assuming this is gonna be the break that I have today. Like this is the real break. I'm assuming that I'm gonna pass this. Ain't it great to assume something?
Yeah, but if we're being all the way honest with yourself, most of the time we're assuming negative stuff. And even when we're assuming the positive stuff, like I assume that I'm gonna pass this test, then what if you don't? You gonna break down? Like it's gonna be the end of the world? Rather now, if you look at it as whether I pass or fail this test, I'm still gonna be happy with myself. I'm still gonna try again. I'm still gonna be at peace. It's not gonna change my life like that, right? I want to, of course, do my best, but I'm where peace lies.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna give you one more question. Then I'm gonna have us head out because I feel like we got somewhere right here. Do you feel like it's a difference between, or what is the difference? I don't know. I'm gonna ask you what a boy becoming a man. That self-esteem exchange. That the beginning of when you're a boy and you feel all these things of what self-esteem is, and you become a man and you have a whole different perspective. How different was that transition for you with self-esteem?
I think with a boy becoming a man, is you just gotta, it's life, right? Like you can't get it no other way. You gotta live life. You gotta fail. You gotta fail fast, right? Like you gotta mess up fast so you can go ahead and know that anything that you think is hard for you, you can get through it. That's where the self-esteem lies. The self-esteem lies in, oh, I tried it, I failed it, I'm gonna try it again. Self-esteem lies in actually trying something, right? That's when you at the teenage age from a boy to a man. But then you realize even being able to do the job the very best, that's not where your self-esteem lies, right? So then you go a little bit beyond that and know that self-esteem lies within yourself.
Okay. On that note, I want to tell you right now, I appreciate you coming out
I
again for
appreciate
me.
you.
And I want to ask you, can you give the people out there any advice on self-esteem and what you learned about self-esteem?
Well, like I said, I mean, it depends on what age you at. You get what I'm saying? Number one, self-esteem starts with you. So if you can understand that already, then understand it. But if you want some practical stuff, build your self-esteem up. We want to be better than our neighbors. So go do something to be better. Go do something to be better. If you want this and that, then go do something to be better, right? But once you get past that, cause then you're gonna realize that the self-esteem really don't come from that. You got a better car, you got a better house, you got a better this. You're gonna realize that self-esteem don't come from that. But of course, we all got to go through it to know that.
Okay. On that note, let them know where to find you. Mind Peace Woke. I thank you for coming in for me.
On the real, mind, peace, woke, all one word. Hey, I appreciate y'all for joining us, for real.
Yes, and if you have any questions, make sure you go follow his Instagram. He's always posting and got good words for you every day to keep your day going. He definitely gave me his shirt. I want to show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all on Instagram. Anyway, close up. On that note, thank you so much, and make sure you tune in to episode 56 next week. But right now, check out 55. Bye, y'all.